Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. Today, we're going to talk about keeping motivated and busy in challenging times of loneliness. So stay tuned. So over the past week, I've been through some challenges, and basically over the past 2 weeks, you sometimes let things go. You kind of get in this rut of feeling sorry for yourself or feeling down and out. And you can't do nothing with your life, and you just the down and out negativity that you just don't need in life. And that was a very hard, challenging thing for me as an autistic person. I constantly see the negative in things. I don't see things for the positive and what they are. And I have a little break right now from work and programming for a couple of days to get myself back together because I need it every so often. Everything everybody does, and it's something that you should encouraged to do if you can manage it well. And with that being said, I think yesterday, today's the first day, but yesterday, I think, I really had to sit and think, am I going to make this a very down and out, very nasty, wasteful time and ruminate and get in them looping thoughts and just get and fall down into the trap? Or am I going to make it a good, relaxing vacation and take care of myself and do the things that I need to do for me? And I think that was really what I had to see. And, last night, I think one of those things had to happen. I watched My 600-Pound Life, and it was a supersized episode. And, I got to watch a lady's story, and, it was really eye-opening for me, not only because I'm an overweight person and I'm not proud to admit that, but seeing this person just have to be in such shame and lose her dignity at double the size of myself, and having to have somebody help her and wait for somebody to do things for her, like cook and get out of bed. And yet she tries, but she just doesn't seem to hit the target. And, she continued to make excuses why she couldn't do that, or why, she tried to downplay the situation, or and dehumanize, whatever the excuse to make excuse after excuse why she couldn't do things. And I think that's the thing with me. I know I need to do things. I know I need to do things to keep myself motivated, activated. And sometimes keeping busy is not for everybody. Sometimes there is times you need to relax. But I have been rested. I've been off the day program for 2 days now, going on the third, and I did recharge on Wednesday. So that's all over. So we're back into some sort of rhythm, but we're also with a lot of downtime over the next few days, and that's when the challenges come in. Because if you don't have a plan, or you don't have a list of something that you plan to do, or things that you can do to keep yourself occupied during those downtimes when your thoughts begin to loop and ruminate, and then you start to obsess on things you can't control. And in fact, it did that today for some bit. But I there's also things here that I know needed to be addressed in my own home, like the piles and piles of laundry that have not been done for 2 weeks. And I know it's a shame to admit it, but it's telling me that I'm not putting things a priority, and I'm just letting my mental health go a little bit because I'm sitting ruminating, or I'm sitting feeling lazy, or making the bed, or just simple things to keep the apartment clean and tidy. And it's a work in progress, but we're getting there. And I think it feels good when you do it. And I think when I see stuff like 600-Pound Life, or people can't take care of things, or hoarding shows where people or hoarding TikToks where people just let their containers on the floor, that really irritates me. And I hate seeing people live that way. And sometimes I know they can't help it, but sometimes, as somebody told me, you have to encourage yourself. You have to want it. And I think I think after past experiences with my living situations and seeing things get out of control too much, I don't want to go down that path again. I don't want to see things in that light. I don't want to get into a bad situation. That's my thing. I just don't want to get into that bad negative situation where I can lose it all. I know what I have to do. I know what I'm responsible for. I also know that I have to keep busy. I have to get up out of bed, and not lay around all day and feel sorry for myself. I have to get up. I have to make that bed. I have to get dressed. I have to get a shower. And that sometimes is a hard thing. And applying certain soap and shampoo is also a struggle. I got my hair cut yesterday, and that's been 8 weeks, and it feels a lot better. But just getting to that, getting into the shower for me is sometimes a big step. But you know what? After seeing 600-pound life the other night, I was surely thankful this morning that I could get up and do that, and I could use the bathroom and things like that. Just those things you take granted for, and you don't see them as much because you take them for granted. You think, oh, I'm going to always be able to do that. But you know what? You never know. And I think that, seeing this person go through these struggles in life, seeing her not be able to do the things, and you continuing to use her motorized chair as a crutch, that was definitely something that opened my eyes. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to have to wait for somebody to take care of me. So sometimes you have to get motivated. Sometimes, as a friend's relation had told me, you have to encourage yourself. And that, if that meant today I had the mindset that I was going to get up and I was going to make that bed and I was going to clean that room up. I've been slowly cleaning parts up around my home, but that room was a target for today because I knew it looked bad long enough, and I knew that putting clothes on the floor is a bad habit, and I'm trying to work on that, but I got to stop doing that because it's just not healthy. And I feel better. I think, and with being lonely and having, sometimes being busy is one thing. Sometimes it's too much for someone, but for me, it's something that I need. Keeping busy and engaged is something I need to keep me distracted from the ruminating thoughts and the hustle and the bustle and the challenging thoughts and sentences that appear in my head, because sometimes my headspace can get to a really dark place if I don't nip it in the bud and get out of where I am and what I'm thinking at that moment. I can really get myself in a really dark, deep place. And if I don't get myself out of it and get me out of that loop and out of that trap, and I've talked about the loop and the trap several times on my YouTube channel, but if I don't get myself out of that, loop and trap, it just makes it really, really bad. And, I feel, that's a bad thing. And I don't want to, and when I was on this leave for the next couple of days, I don't want it to be a bad thing. I don't want to feel sorry for myself at the end. I don't want to feel like it was a huge waste. I don't want to feel like, it was no good for me to do that. I want to make use of it by taking care of myself, enjoying life a little bit, and being happy for once. For a long time, I just want to be happy and busy. I think that's the thing in life. Many times from outside the surface, I feel happy and busy, but sometimes deep, dark inside in my inner space, it's hard to feel that way. It's hard to feel just happy and busy. Oftentimes, I keep that, inner feeling, that inner anger and that inner, rumination to my close circle. And it's hard. It's really hard to make that appearance sometimes. And sometimes doing things is just hard. It's just, being responsible is one thing, but just making things look better and being a better person and doing the right thing sometimes is just so hard, just to get up and get moving. I think the thing is, I have to realize now that I can't lay in bed as much as I have been because it sets me back so far and it makes challenges. And I have to be more on things, because if I'm not, then, it just sets me up for that trap of just not only not taking care of my personal needs, but just not being happy with myself and feeling like crap, basically. I think sometimes, I put it on myself and I don't, take care of what I need to do. But as my mother told me this morning in a message exchange, that, it's good to get moving and stay moving all day, because it's good for not only your mental health, excuse me, but it's good for your physical health too. And now I'm seeing that, and seeing that episode of My 600-Pound Life last night really opened my eyes to how things could be if I did not get things into control under control. There are necessities in life like working and going to day program, because getting out of the house is very essential for me, or getting, just moving around and doing something and being engaged, and just it's very healthy. If I don't do that, I spin, and that spinning is where I get into trouble, and it ruins the weekend, and it ruins the thought of not being able to be in rhythm with things and keep going, and learning, and getting things done, that the list, the things that you want to do pile up and up and up, and they keep going up, 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 and it takes you forever to bounce back from them. And I think that's the thing too I see, is the fact that you want to you do want to do these things, but you're not taking attention to them, or you're not being part of them. It sets you up to not want to follow through them, and it puts you behind, and catching up is just more taxing. But also there's a need to take care of it and keep it more routine, so that you're more engaged in the day-to-day affairs of your life. And sometimes, yes, there's times you have to rest. I'm not going to deny the fact that you have to rest. There are times that life is too overwhelming. Autistic burnout is overwhelming. But right now, I know I am on a break from to recover from autistic burnout. And I'm recognizing that I need to take more and more of these long weekends to do so. I don't think I need them continually, but for me, it's what I need to get myself under control and be more grounded for myself, and not let these thoughts and this anger and this hate get so out of control that it's not to where it gets not healthy. And I think sometimes we have to keep in mind of our mental health and physical health. One thing I want to share today is Pennsylvania U.S. Senator John Fetterman checked himself into Walter Reed today because he's having clinical depression. And sometimes I think it's a big step to go into the hospital for something like that, because we have to define it. With depression, there's no interest in doing things. And Senator has been he's had bouts of this throughout his life. And to admit, in a world that likes to have stigmatized mental health and not take care of things, and just push it by the side, him addressing it is a big step. And hopefully, we continue the fight, that many men get the help they need. I wouldn't be nowhere without the help I need. And sometimes recognizing that I need to do things like, getting out and doing things and enjoying things, and just getting moving every day. I think that is a big center thing. But when you're not, but more so with his depression, I don't know his whole story there, asking for privacy and stuff, but I think more so with depression, you're not showing interest in it. You don't have interest. And sometimes I get into those little funks, or what they call them. And if they go 2 or 3 days, that's something. But if it keeps going on and on and on, that's when you need to get it addressed. That's when it gets really bad. And obviously he knows his system. I have more faith in him more than I've known him from. He's from the western side of the state, so I've known him from all his notoriety as a mayor of his town of Braddock, and when he became lieutenant governor, here in Pennsylvania, he's done a lot of great things. But and so that can be controversial too. But not to get too much into politics about it, but he takes care of himself, and I think he hopefully that opens the eyes of so many that we have to address our needs. And one of those things for me this weekend is taking care of myself for a little bit and getting myself back on track. And yes, I'm recording this video. Yes, I'm doing things like I normally do on a weekend. I'm recording a little earlier today because I got things done. But that means I'm going to relax too, and I'm going to take care of myself, keep busy, do things I like to do, and not be forced to do, if you know what I mean. So I think it takes a little give and take and a little pressure, making sure that it's compromise. Basically, you have to compromise with your body constantly. And for me, I know that constantly I have to do something. I can't sit there and dwell on things, especially the past, things, the way things were, which is often played in my head. That sometimes I constantly think about things, second guess things, worry about things, or the ways things could have been, or what could have happened to make it better, or the things I once had. I constantly think that, and I think sometimes I'm handed the wrong deal or handed the wrong deck in the set of cards. But you know what? I gotta live a life as I can now and take care of me for what I can. I want to thank you for listening today. Be sure to follow me on this channel and subscribe to my videos. If you haven't already, tap that notification bell for more notifications. As a reminder, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest at Dustin's Dynasty. You can follow me on the web at DustinsDynastyUSA.com, and you can follow me on my link tree at Dustin's Dynasty. Lastly, you can follow me on TikTok at Dustin's Dynasty ASD. I want to thank you for listening today. Be sure to have a good weekend. Take care of yourself. Stay safe out there, and bye for now.